Dan's on his way in.
And now, welcome! It's time for Friday Night Marketing! We're gonna rock! We're gonna roll! Get real and bold! Come on, join the show now! It's about to unfold! Get raw, get real, get results now! We're the latest steel, making waves loud! On this stage, we ignite! Every Friday night, brand new fight! Get real, get results now! We're the latest steel, making waves loud! On this stage, we ignite! Every Friday night, brand new fight! In the spotlight, feel the fever! Every pitch and quest! Dreams are big, get bigger tonight. Push the limits, reach new heights. So grab your seat, don't blink an eye. 'Cause Friday night will touch the sky. And now, welcome! It's time for Friday Night Marketing Raw!
Hello! We're live! It's Friday Night Marketing Raw! And look who we got on. We got Richie Nolan, Dan Bradley, Eddie's here as well.
Hello.
Hello.
So welcome to anyone watching on the YouTubes. And we should avoid swearing for the first 10 minutes so that we don't get demonetized. Actually,
right.
I don't care. We don't care about that rubbish. Anyway. Hello, Skittles. How you doing? So, what is new? What is happening?
What is on your shoulder?
Richie, got a look. That's Skittles.
Hello, Skittles.
Little green cheek conure.
Does it talk?
She does try to talk. She mimics a little bit, but they're not big talkers. So,
Right.
But you might occasionally hear something that sounds like some words come out of her, but it's very croaky.
Oh, I know a few marketers like that.
Yeah. Yes, you talk a lot of shit, don't you? Yes, talk a lot of shit. Real marketing bird. There you go.
I've just had a laughing fit because working with Dan's brilliant because he's hilarious to work with. And and I said, he said, "Oh, are you on?" And I said, "Yeah, I had a quick 2 minutes of Andy before that." And he said, "Oh, that's not the only quick 2 minutes you've had." And what he's referring to, I feel sorry for Dan. We've been working together for a year. My wife and I are trying for a baby. We've been trying for the past year. And every now and again, because of when she's ovulating, she'll just text me and say,
now.
And so I have to disappear. And it used to be, 20 minutes. I've got it down to a good 7 now.
I'm getting really good at sex. I can do it in 2 minutes.
So for a period of about 10 days, every month, and it really made me laugh. Yeah, so I thought I'd share that. Just be real.
I remember those joys. I remember when you and Sasha were trying for the first one. It was
Eva,
you did a bit then, didn't you? Because you go,
we did.
oh yeah, because I remember that, and you'd be like, "I'll be back soon."
Yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Yeah, and it was extraordinary. I know it's got nothing to do with marketing. It took 6 weeks to get Eva, and with recently it's been 11 months, and it's just amazing how sometimes it takes and sometimes it doesn't. But rest assured, if it takes 2 years, then we're both getting older and stuff. But I'm sure it will happen at some point. But
I remember when we had Mia. We decided, okay, you know what? We'll come off contraception. We'll just see what happens. I reckon it was the first fucking time. Typical, isn't it? I was thinking, young now. Fell pregnant straight away. Crazy.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Some people are really compatible, and some people. I mean, we know couples. It's taken 3 years. It's taken 3 years on their first. We were just really lucky with Eva that it was within 6 weeks, and so. I'm sure it will happen at some point. But I'll be honest with you, my wife's hot, so it's not a problem for me. I very much enjoy. It was a 20-minute. Now we got it down to a 6 or so. Really, maybe it's 3 minutes.
And I'm sure she's absolutely loving herself in those 6 minutes that you happen to give her.
Well, if I'm like in between calls, I feel really bad. I get off, and then sometimes she gets off, and then I leave the room and I say, "Money's on the side." Shut the door. I won't say her name because she's a lawyer. She's a senior associate for quite a well-known law firm. So I won't say my name.
It's when you get 6 months down the line and you're having to take sales calls while you're also in the middle of whatever you're needing to do. You just have to put them on mute for a minute.
I've not done that. No, I've not. I've not done that.
But
when Eva was born, I was working with a marketer and running a team at the time, and we were incredibly busy, and we were putting off kind of not the date of the launch, but when the webinars were going to be to time it right when the baby came, and Eva was 16 days late. And basically what happened was Sasha was in the hospital for 6 days, and it was during COVID. So I could only see her for 2 hours of the day between 12 and 2, because this was summer of 2021. So on one hand, I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can only see her for 2 hours a day." But on the other hand, I was like, "I can only see her for 2 hours a day." So I had all this time to do all these sales calls at home, and it was fine. And Lexi was staying kind of with a neighbor, so I was actually able to do all the calls. Eva was born, another day in the hospital, and I was straight back to work then. Yeah. But I work from home, so they're only upstairs. It's not like I'm down a mine or anything. It's not that bad. Don't feel too sorry.
Right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not ditch digging.
Exactly. It's not, it's not that hard. People say, "I work really hard." Yeah, you do, but you're not down the mine. Come on. No, let's be real.
What I do is not hard work. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah. I've worked in factories, and that's hard work. How's it going with you, Steve?
Not bad.
Ready for Monday?
Monday. Yeah, ready for Monday. I'm also using a brand new camera that I got sent for free today. So that's.
Oh, you're using it now?
This is it. This is the.
What camera is it?
So at the moment,
it's looking pretty good.
It's called. I can't remember what it's called. The Osbot Tail Air, I think.
Oh, I saw. That's the Osbot. What are they? The ones with the.
This is the box for it. I can't show it to you, obviously. Yeah, well, basically, it's
4K, right?
It's on a gimbal. It's 4K. I mean, this isn't because it's streaming, so it's 1080.
Sure.
I could plug this into the Camlink that I've got, which is what I usually use with the ZV-10, and that would give me presumably a better picture. But as it is, it's a camera on a gimbal. If I wanted to, I could move it around. So I've just been sort of playing with this to try and get all the things right. So if I wanted to
in
move
terms of what, like 360
stuff that way,
oh yeah, there you go.
so they're all up and down, and there's sort of space. It's difficult to do because you very easily move it too quickly, or you can zoom in and out as well. I've zoomed this in a little bit because it was just a bit too. That's it. That's the one.
Is that one?
Yeah,
it was a little bit
too wide.
You got it for free.
I got it for free from the company because they want me to make a video about it, or probably several videos about it, because that's what happens when you're famous on YouTube.
Yeah.
The incredible thing is, though, I mean, like Stephen was saying earlier, he doesn't have a massive. How many subscribers you got? A couple of thousand?
2,800, nearly 2,900.
I mean, you have got videos that have had over 25k views, but
wow, that's decent.
But it
I
just
think
shows
what's
you
happening
how
now is that
if
companies are getting they kind of understand that actually the amount of subscribers doesn't really make any difference if
It's
you're
the
not getting
views.
the views.
It's the engagement as well,
a lot
isn't
of
it?
companies
You know.
put that. It's view to some extent, but actually, the
That
views
was brilliant.
are the real thing that makes a difference. But this is incredible. I mean, I've already got on a little bit of blur, which is processed in the camera, which means your computer doesn't need to do it, which means it's better. But I can turn this up quite significantly. You can see what's actually blurring, or you've got an advanced version of it, which is technically better, I think. But
and so when they send you these goodies, Steve, are they yours to keep, or is it a loan situation? Do you have to send it back?
As far as I'm well, they haven't said anything about sending it back.
And do they say you have to do so many videos and so many views? Like, is there?
No, there's been no stipulation on the amount of views and things. I think that, again, they sort of base it on what you've already got on
the
social
channel
media platforms, on where they think you're going to sort of perform. But they've not said anything about sending back. It's, we will send you this camera, can you make content with it? And it's a brand new camera. It's not like it's been shipped around to loads of different people. They also sent me this thing, which is a link where you can plug one end into the camera and the other end into your Ethernet, and you could control it and power it through the Ethernet. So you could put that anywhere in your where you've got an Ethernet connection and run it through that. That's what professional people do. That's a very pro way of using a camera like this. And actually, it's a pretty good picture for
it's all right.
I've seen a lot worse.
It is a £350 webcam. I mean, you can get webcam for 50 quid,
£365, mate. Mine was 40 quid from Amazon.
This is actually 400 quid, 450 quid, I think the camera cost.
Yeah. The cheapest I found it for, with some, I don't even know if it's a good company, it's like 365 x VAT, which is still 438 included.
Still for. Yeah, exactly. But this isn't just a webcam, and that's, I think, there is an SD card slot in here as well, so you can take it around with you. It's a little bit bulky. I can show you the case that comes with it. That's the case, so you can't slip it in your pocket, but you could carry it around if you go out somewhere or something. And if you're a content creator, that and a tripod, and you can do any sort of filming that you want. You can get all of your B-roll from it. It's got this AI tracking feature, so you can set the camera up and say track me, and then you can go and walk away and start recording from your phone. You can monitor everything on your phone, and then just do the movement to walk towards it or away from it or whatever you want. It will track you, which is something that content creators do a lot, but they tend to have teams of people. It tends to be more expensive. If you're looking at doing, YouTube to start off with, and you think, well, what's the minimum amount of gear that you need? Technically, yeah, you can use your camera, but you'll end up buying a tripod and the thing to connect your camera to the thing. Phone cameras now are just incredible. But if you use the phone,
amazing. It's incredible what you've got to use these days,
Yeah, if you use the phone, you've got to use the things on the back of the phone, which means you can't see it. So at some point, you'll want to get some sort of connection to it. You can get mirrors now that will sort of display the phone screen so you can see it. But this, you run it through your phone, basically. It's got an internal battery that lasts for about 2.5 hours, which if you're recording bits to camera, that's usually more than enough. And it's got a micro SD card internally, so you can record straight onto that. 4K 60, you can record. That means that 4K 60 means you can do sort of semi-slow motion. And with the tech that's around now, that means you can slow it down even further using AI and things like OptiFlow, which is built into things like DaVinci. It's got OptiFlow built in. So that camera, a decent microphone, and a tripod is everything that you need to do pretty good quality YouTube content, better than a lot of people out there. And to start off with, and you could probably get the whole thing, I'd say, for well under $1,000, probably 600 quid, something like that. A full YouTube setup, which is pretty good. And that YouTube setup that will then do your webcam, or if I wanted to record this as bits to camera, it will do that. All of those things. So yeah, I that's pretty amazing for the price, I would think.
And like, I'd imagine you get offers like quite often, but are there any products you turn down? For example, if Red Bull contacted you, they got a wingsuit. And they said,
"Well, there'd be no point." First of all,
I don't think that's something they just give you a go of.
Yeah, there's no parachute, but just give it a jump.
Secondly, I don't have an audience for it at all.
Yeah.
If the BBC got in touch and said, "Would you like to see the brand new box set of Blake 7," which I just happen to have here, and if they were going to do that, then sure, because I've got a YouTube channel which talks about Doctor Who, so it would make sense. But
I'm surprised they don't just demonetize you and try and take your content. That sounds more like a BBC style of cooperation.
Well,
you're lucky you're not in jail.
BBC are pretty good with user-generated content. They kind of know that a lot of, Doctor Who and Blake, some of that old stuff that is still around because fans have done it, and they're pretty good with not copyright striking too much. But when you've gone over the line, because you'll get a copyright strike, and then you go, okay, well, I'll change this video. But all of that's automatic, and it's as soon as you upload the video, and they tell you exactly what bit's the problem. It's very easy to sort of work around that and just do a re-edit and upload again. It's very, very simple to do. So, yeah, that, not a problem. If I was doing Star Trek content, I would be screwed. That's the reality.
Tell you what, though, this new way of, like brands now obviously going out through YouTube and trying to do that, that you can tell that a lot of brands are starting to pull back on traditional ad spending. Ads, TV ads, which have always been so bloody expensive. Oh, sorry, we're still live. So expensive.
I think you can say bloody on YouTube. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I've already said fuck this in the first 10 minutes. We're not getting monetized. Don't worry about it.
All right, there you go. That's all right. That's just fine. Not on me.
And that's the other thing. It is in the first couple of minutes. It'll only scan the first couple of minutes, 5 minutes, I think, of the thing. And so as long as you're swearing,
I got it in right off the bat.
You got it in right. Okay, yeah,
we don't care. You can F off YouTube. We don't care.
So yeah, you can tell, right, that spending's been pulled back. I mean, if you look as well, like if you follow the elections in the US, right, and how they were using, like they were using podcasts, weren't they? And they were, all of these sorts of things. So you can see the way that the market's moving. It's fascinating to see these smaller. And I mean, I say small creators. Joe Rogan's not exactly a small creator, is he? But you know what I'm saying?
It's not. But it was just the fact that Trump did it and Kamala Harris didn't do it. I think spoke volumes.
Trump went on the show.
Could have done it. Could have.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, he went on 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway, the WWE star. He's been on all of those things which got massive audiences. And
I think it was like, wasn't it like 40 odd million on Joe Rogan? Was the view count?
It is something ridiculous like that.
It was 17 million in the first 24 hours. I can remember that with Trump. And it's 3 hours non-stop. And Joe Rogan said he didn't even get up to pee. That's what he said. He didn't even get up to pee. There was no break or anything.
I mean, I can't last for 3 hours without going to the loo.
Me neither.
I'm going to the loo now. No,
next week, catheters.
This whole sort of user-generated content is exactly why I put Crowdworks together, and why I've been looking into doing that sort of thing in the first place, because those ads are really performing well, and yet they're very expensive to put together. But there are ways now you can do it completely for free. So why wouldn't you? You know, it's like a 50% uptick in click-throughs on user-generated content compared to traditional advertising. It's crazy.
Oh, nice.
I think it's good though. I much prefer, you know, finding out stuff, and I do definitely make a lot of purchasing decisions based upon user-generated content now. You know, if I see a traditional ad, I go, oh, bugger off. You know,
you just think bullshit.
We've seen so much of them. You know, we don't want any more. Whereas if it's someone, you know, like you, really, you've just given us an ad for about 10 minutes on this new Ozbot, and we've all sat here listening, thinking, oh, that could be a decent tool. And that's the difference.
And, you know, as a company, they've been very good at getting that out. There's a load, because I looked at the videos when they said, do you want to do it? There are a load of videos out there from creators who have just said, oh, I've just got this thing and I'm using it to do this video with. And that's, you know, just saturate the market if you can. Although I won't say that when we're live, maybe when we finish. So saturate the market if you can, and then every time somebody searches for your product, they go, oh, well, this is popular because all of these people have used it. That's a pretty powerful.
And if you
thing
think about it, the Ozbot's cost price on one of them, if you really bought, is probably like 50, 60 quid, right? So you put that in a hand.
I got an invoice with it, which, because it's shipped from China, I think is where they're built. So they have to put that in for customs. The camera unit was £39.
There you go.
The other thing I've got, the Ethernet adapter, was $9.99, and I'm fairly sure they did that to get around the $50 import thing. But I don't think they
But even if that cost was 100 shipped, you send that to 10 good influencers, you spent less than $1,000. You're not going to be able to buy an ad for that. If only one of them does use some advertising.
And look, you know, I'll be putting something up on YouTube, but there's no way I'm not going to mail that to my list as well. And
plus, all the giveaway units are tax deductible.
Yeah.
You know, it's a win for a business to do it that way. It makes far more sense than traditional.
And if you think about it, it's not too dissimilar from what we do when a JV contacts us and say, can I see inside the product? It's basically the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I love all that sort of stuff. I think it's great, and I think it's so much better for everybody involved. You know, I would much rather that, you know, they were spending, if they say, right, we've got $100,000 ad budget, I'd rather they spent that $100,000 and distributed it between a load of different independent creators than giving all of that money to, you know,
to Facebook,
ITV or whoever it was going to be that was going to run a couple of ads for them.
Or 10 million to Beyonce for a 3-minute presentation, wasn't it, recently?
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is something.
Oh, my God.
And this is the same woman who was supposedly going to sort out the economy.
Fix the budget.
Yeah.
Raised the billion, lost 20
They're just
million.
bad negotiators. I could have gotten Beyonce for 9 mil.
4 minutes.
Well, this is something that's happened actually in a sort of more traditional advertising. If you see the big companies, what they've done, they've gone, oh, online, we can make ads online. And so all they've done is they've transferred what they were doing with TV ads online. And you think, if you're not going to use the specific things and tools of online to be able to do stuff and to make things differently, why do you think anyone's going to get your product? You know, because it's not just about brand recognition at that point. It's about, is it working with the thing that I want? Plus, some of the targeting, for even massive companies, some of the targeting is so bad that I'm pretty sure that we all go onto a platform and see ads that are not relevant to us whatsoever. That shouldn't happen because the targeting is there. It's available to everybody. So that just should not happen.
But I don't know now. I don't know what it's like in the UK because, like I said, I haven't. I was there in November of last year, but I wasn't looking at TV. But over here, we've just had a thing now where Amazon Prime have said if you basically the plan that you had, so it's like Amazon. You get free delivery, you get Amazon Video, and whatever else, and it's one price, right? And now it was going to be, well, that's the price, but you're also going to get some ads that we just sort of sprinkle
unless
through.
you pay us extra £3.
Right,
we have
right.
that
But
already.
here it was literally $3, and I was like, that is the easiest $3 I have ever spent. Like, take my money.
Me too. They got it out of me within a week.
Oh,
I haven't
They
done
are.
it. I still haven't done it because I just realized actually I don't watch that much Amazon Prime stuff. When I watch stuff on Prime, it's because I bought a movie on there, which don't have adverts on anyway. But having said that, there's a new the series called Cross on at the moment, which is based on the Alex Cross books, and I started watching that today, and that's really good. But they had 2 ads at the beginning of it, 30 seconds each. Didn't bother.
I will say
at all.
Amazon at the moment aren't stuffing too many ads in.
Yeah.
In most things. There was one thing I was watching and I noticed that at first, there aren't many ads, and it would go. And then when it got popular, like a later episode,
Right.
fucking hell,
Yeah.
it was like ads. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'll give you £3 now. Just don't show me ads.
yeah, exactly.
But Disney's a bit like that as well. I mean, I got the basic plan of Disney because they had an offer on $1.99 a month for 3 months, and I thought, oh, great, okay, I'll do that.
I presume
I'll get
that's
to watch the stuff
$1.99, not $1.99.
That's one ice cream per month
Right.
for
gonna say,
$1.99.
One
You
ice
have to
cream
give them
with
the
a
You've got some
flake.
sort of special
If you give
VIP
them the
access.
flake, you get it
$200.
without adverts.
An ice cream's about £8 now, Steve. What are you talking about? You clearly haven't got kids.
No, I haven't. No. But I do eat ice cream, a lot of ice cream. You can get Haagen-Dazs for £6.
Can
That's
you?
like a
No, if you go
Get it
to
for
like
£3 when it's on offer.
you go to
when
an
it's
ice,
on offer,
yeah,
an
it's
ice
very
cream van or something like that in the park or something.
Oh, I've not
honestly,
been to one of those. For
99,
years.
aren't they?
It's about £6.50 for a cone with a flake.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, it is. Honestly,
We're getting
Like,
to that point. Do you remember
what?
Chris Rock did a thing about your mum saying, "Oh, I can make that for you at home," and it's never as good. We're getting to a point now where what you get at home is actually better
it's
than
better. Yeah,
cost-wise for what you can get if you go out.
I agree with that, except for Toby Carvery. Can't beat a Toby Carvery.
No, my mum does a really good roast.
Oh,
so,
okay,
yeah,
all right,
no,
fair enough.
I-
Well,
Now let
Yeah.
us know
But
what
Toby
they
is
were
very
coming
good.
around and-
we got back from holiday once, and it was a Sunday, and I said to him, "Well, don't cook. I'll order us something from the Toby Carvery." First time we'd ever got anything delivered from Toby. They sent us so much food that
Right.
we could have eaten it for 2 days. It was that much stuff.
value.
So yeah,
Yeah.
very good value
Yeah.
for money on the Toby.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
took Lexi yesterday after school. She already had lunch at 12, and it was at 3 o'clock. I said, "Fancy a Toby Carvery?" "Yes, Daddy." Straight down there, and like
It's good,
19,
it's not
£19 for the two of us.
Yeah,
And I had a king size
perfect.
as well. Yeah,
I spend more than that in McDonald's
Yeah.
every week.
Mind you, that's
Yeah.
not hard now, is it? I mean,
no.
at McDonald's, that's a £10 or £20 gone.
Well,
Oh,
isn't it?
here's the
easy,
thing.
easy.
The reason I've been getting stuff from McDonald's, 'cause, Tuesday night, Mum goes out. I've got to get something for myself because usually we eat as a family. And so I just went, oh well, I'll order something in. McDonald's is the cheapest one out there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, I can get something for just above the £20 mark at McDonald's. It's over 30 with virtually everyone else.
Yeah.
So
We ordered sushi about a week ago, and that was £50 for the two of us. It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't even fucking
£50.
cooked. It was raw.
Didn't even have the gas cost, did they?
No,
You know,
it didn't. No.
jeez.
No. Yeah, it
It
has
is
got very
ridiculous.
expensive.
I mean, luckily, you know, it's not that bad here. I mean, everything has gone up. I mean, massively. You know, same as everywhere around the world. But like I say, last November I was back in the UK for a few weeks, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, like just the price of everything. You know, And I thought,
the prices are bad, but you should see some of the other countries because actually, in terms of price inflation, we've not been too bad.
It's just the tax. The tax does my head in. You fill your car up, right? You've been paid, from whatever work you do. If you run your own business, corporation tax and income tax, and then you fill up your taxed car with taxed diesel, and then you drive your car on a. Guess what? You paid road tax to drive on that car. Everything's taxed, and it's not
they're talking about doing pay per mile as well. But they're not talking about.
They're not going to do that. It's not until you work internationally that you realise how much of a rip-off it is.
That's true, but
mind you, all of these people that bought electric cars sitting there thinking, "Oh, we're not going to have to pay tax."
That's gone.
Well, that's it. I think that's why they're doing it. And if they were saying we'll do pay per mile, but we'll ditch road tax,
I had a neighbour paid 60 grand for 60 grand for an electric car, and then all of a sudden to charge it is now more expensive than me filling my car up with diesel. Yeah. And they're just bewildered with the whole thing.
But that was always going to happen at some point.
Yeah, it was.
We're just starting to see the crossover now. Because prices never go down, not for people.
I just glanced at the comments and I nearly patted my camera. Nearly went like that. I thought, oh, right, okay, right.
No, I'll tell you what though, it's one of those things. You would be pretty gutted when if you shipped out, you shelled out 60 grand on an electric motor, thinking you were going to get some savings. You're not going to be paying the tax, and then all of a sudden the government goes, "Nope."
This guy got shafted. Yeah,
electricity's gone up. You're going to be paying more now anyway, and now you're stuck with a car. And have you seen the whole depreciation? Like if I look now at a 2-3 year old Tesla, they're almost half price.
Yeah.
Because they're just depreciated like crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently that.
Nobody. I love big black cock. I'd love to sink to my.
Oh right, you're just an idiot.
Is that Paul? Okay.
But anyway,
let's move on, shall we?
The good news is anyone
watching
audio, Pat likes big black cock. If you can help him out, drop us a line. We'll hook you up.
I've never seen that before.
Hang on a minute. No, sorry, nothing I can do from this end.
I've got some paint.
Well, that solves one of the problem.
I've got some paint and a chicken. It's a pre-roasted chicken, but it's quite large.
Apparently,
is he a leg or a breast man?
If you tie with string quite tightly a heavy brick on cock, you can get it to go like a black man's. It's working already. Mine's already black.
Yeah, but it'll drop off after a while.
Oh dear.
That's how they castrate lambs. I live in the country.
With bricks and string.
With bricks and string.
Elastic bands, I think.
Elastic bands, very small.
Brick is quicker. You see two of them.
Random nuts.
There you go.
Yeah. It's not like being married, apparently.
Well, yeah.
No comment.
I've actually only been married 18 months, but I've been with her 8 years, so we're not quite there yet. Although I did say to her, it was our anniversary on the 1st of November, 8 years, and I said, "Hey, we got through the 7-year itch. That's good, isn't it?" And she said, "We've only been married a year and a half. There's still plenty of time for that, son. Don't worry about it." That's funny. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Let's talk some marketing stuff because there's a few people here that have got launches going on. So I've got one going on right now, which I will pop
you have
in the chat.
This is brilliant. It really,
I saw that today. It's doing really well, isn't it?
It's doing quite well considering that I didn't do any build up. I just released it. So there's a link in the YouTube chat there for that. But that's enough about me. I'm talking about mine. Mr. Stephen's got a launch on Monday.
I'm going to launch
on Monday. And I know Dan and Rich are working for it. So, Mr. Stephen, tell us all about your launch. I know.
Okay, Crowdworks. It's 100% free UGC ads and how to make them. all with AI as well. And I was trying to put this thing together with, grabbing the latest technology of tools. What can you do? How can you modify video if you download it? Can you, swap faces and things like that? And then I just stumbled across the fact that one of the biggest social media platforms in the world gives you all of this for free. So I'm going to show you what that platform is. I'm going to show you how to. I've written a prompt for ChatGPT, which will give you the script that you can put in. Then everything else is on this other platform to make a talking head. And then I also give you another half hour's worth of training on how you can edit that in CapCut to do all the things that influencers do, which is basically put your titles on using the free stuff, because CapCut often gives you tools to use when they're in beta, and then we'll go, oh, now you've got to pay for it. So none of that. You don't have to pay for any of it. You can just use the basic version of CapCut. I'll show you how to get around all the intricacies of getting titles and things on there without spending too much time faffing about. Things like dropping out backgrounds and just layering a thing up, how to get video and all of that sort of stuff. It takes half an hour to watch that video, and by the end of it, you'll be able to create really good user-generated content, looking influencer style looking videos that you can use on your adverts.
And I have to say, Steve, I know Richie sort of sent over the review access that you've given to us, and I had a look through it, and the quality, man, of what you put together in some of those guides. I started going through and looking at those guides and thinking, there's a lot of work that's gone into that. This isn't something you've put together in 10 minutes.
No, it's taken a whole week.
Took a whole half hour.
It looked like it's taken longer than a week. It was really good.
Just to give you an idea, the last call in the funnel, the advanced version, which was basically what I was going to teach originally, I put all of that together yesterday. All of the videos, all the marketing stuff, everything was done yesterday. But there is a big benefit to doing, a funnel product rather than a front end product, because by the time you get to the funnel, the majority of your branding is already done. So you don't have to, make pictures and generate boxes and all of that sort of stuff. You can just basically use what you've got. It takes an awful lot less time to put that kind of thing together. And again, your copy will be dependent on the copy that you've already written in other parts of the funnel, because you're taking people on a journey through that funnel. It is possible to put together a product now very quickly. I mean, I have a product which shows people how to put something together in 7 days. Easily do it in 7 days. Most of my products are done within a week, from conception to recording to going out.
Didn't always,
and all of them least want to be shorter. No, actually, that's not strictly true. What happened was, every time I released a product, I released at least 3 products in it, and each one of those took a week, and so that was a month before I could do that, and then I had to do the marketing stuff. So that's what used to take the time. I cut all of that down, and a good reason, part of the process for that is to use AI when you can, because it's such a time saver. It really is.
But I think you get caught up in it, and I think when you're creating products, you think, I want to give value, and you get excited, you go off on a tangent, and before you know it, you're like, oh my god, this is so much stuff. I hope this doesn't overwhelm people.
That is true.
And it's finding that balance, isn't it, between overwhelming people that they're like, oh god, this guy's crazy. I can't understand what he's okay. Let's simplify it and pull it back a little bit.
I think the real trick is, before you start, I have an audience there at point A. They need to get not to point Z, but to point B. So what's that step? What can you do with that step? And often that means that there's a whole lot of stuff that you go, I don't need to do this. Or if I am going to do it, I can do it in a more advanced training somewhere in the funnel. And give them information, especially with info products. I think sometimes you see people launching software things and you go, well, it really can't do what you're saying it's doing in the front end, because you'd need the upsells to be able to do it, and that's an awful lot more money. But
I can't stand products like that, by the way. It's like when they
get
a sales page and it says you can do this, and this, and you think, okay, great, you buy it, you go to OTO1, and it says, right, you're going to be able to do this, and this. And you think, well, can I not already do that? Is that not on the front end?
Because
No,
that's
it's not.
what it says.
It wasn't
Yeah,
clear.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's another, $50 or $100. I mean,
They go, here's a training on how we made all this money, and you watch a training, and they go, well, we use this software that's ours that you've also got to buy.
Yeah, that you've got to buy.
Because if you don't have the software, you can only make 20p. And you're like,
And the
See,
next
I
one, you
think
got to
that-
white label it now. You got to white label it. You got to white label it.
I think
You've
that
got to up the
actually
limit
they are
because you can only
missing
do
a
3
trick
posts.
doing that.
Yeah.
I think they're missing a trick doing that, and actually, in those circumstances, give away an info product which is really good, and then lead people to take up your offer. Show people
We
how
really,
to do
really
it
believe in that.
yourself,
Yeah.
without having anything else, and then go. But if you use our tool, we'll make it easier for you. So what you're saying is, look, here's the process, but it's got all of these problems with it. We'll take those problems away. Rather than saying something like, well, you can do all of these things on the front end, and then you get to the next stage and just to realize that actually you can't do all of those things on the front end, or that there's severe limitations that they haven't really talked about. That I can remember a few years ago when people were releasing video platforms, so you could upload your video to their platform and you could stream it, and great idea, but the limits on the videos that you could do, when they were saying unlimited videos, sure, but unlimited videos, but you've capped the amount of bandwidth, or that you've capped the amount of storage space.
Yeah.
Well, they've all got to be less than 5 minutes. That was my favourite one.
Yes.
It's like, what am I supposed to upload in less
What's
than
the
5
point?
minutes of use?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, I definitely, I agree. I mean, we've had a few, we've been doing stuff, obviously, sort of coming up towards our launch and whatever. And, sometimes I get a whole idea and I film something and I go, this isn't the place to put it. I need to rejig it. I need to move this somewhere else because it's too in depth, or, so yeah, I definitely, like I say, we took a look at yours. We'll be promoting you, Steve. We've got you in the calendar.
Awesome. Thank you.
I
know a couple of people have said they'll fire off emails, but
we'll talk a bit
when we
get
to that point, don't you? When we go, well, okay, I'm launching now, and I don't know if anybody's going to mail for this, because you don't know. Nobody really gives you definite.
And when we come offline now, we'll fill you in on sort of some of the dramas that we had been dealing with the platform and a few things. So we'll cover those once we kind of stop broadcasting everywhere. But yeah, definitely we'll be there. We're still obviously in the whole build.
We can't hear you, Richie. You've gone on mute.
We can't hear you, Richie.
Oh, sorry.
There you
go. If I'm vaping, I put myself on mute because I don't want people to hear it. Yeah.
Don't want to hear his lungs closing in on him.
Yeah. It's not a pleasant sound, so it's not tough.
And I know Dan and Richie have also got a launch coming up. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first we're going to answer the question on everybody's lips.
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
No, of course he hasn't. So you'll have to tune in next week to find out if.
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
There we go.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite parts of this show.
I know.
I've said it in the last 2 weeks. The music for that is brilliant. And
thank you,
the other magazine feature that you have as part of this.
I like the intro, the raw intro. It just feels Bristol. I just think Bristol. It's that kind of grunge band kind of feel to it. But I saw a post.
Udio, amazing.
Yeah. I saw a post this week asking if George Wigan, anyone's. I can't remember if you posted it. Has anyone?
Rob Rees, I believe.
That was it. Of George, because I haven't heard from him for 2 weeks, and I can't.
And everyone was like, "Oh, you didn't give him money for a done for you funnel, did you?"
I bet he did. I mean, that's it. That's what happens. You give them the money and don't hear from them again. Mind you,
I can tell you. I can tell you a couple of
stories. Pay George Wickens to never contact me again. That's a good deal.
Oh,
Not
dear.
as much as you want.
Yeah.
Yes. So Richie and Dan,
Yes.
you've got. I must admit, I had a look at the JV page for your thing the other day, and I do like your graphics and all of that you've done. I like the whole Indiana Jones theme thing you've got going on. But tell us about what you've got coming up. Which and anyone that is looking to promote, you can go to jvwithrichie.com. It's written under Richie's name, then you get all the details.
Yeah,
so
we've given him his own link now. So we've got the JV with Dan, but we thought we'd give Richie his own as well. So
I passed the test because I survived the launch.
You thought, fucking hell, no one wants a JV with Dan. Let's see if they want a JV with Richie.
Damn it, he's caught our business strategy, Richie. We've been exposed here.
Yeah.
I revealed too much on the live stream. So tell us about your launch. Tell us what you got coming up.
So we've got a new one coming up on the 5th of December now. And it's basically, this is a great way for people, if you've got no list, you've got no audience, but to kind of actually get paid to build that list, right? You can make some sales and get paid to build that list, which we all know you've got to do, right? No matter what you're wanting to do with affiliate marketing, you've got to get a list. And so that's what it's all about.
There are three main traffic sources as well that Dan goes into as well and teaches like incredibly well. So you can make sales really, really quickly, even if you're a newbie as well, which I think is a big.
And they're real traffic methods, not that shit Mosh Barry says when he goes built-in traffic, and it means there's a Facebook share button so you can tell your mum about it.
Right? Tell 50 friends and and call now. If you could draw a picture of this rabbit, it's not one of those.
What you do is you go out into the middle of the street and you put this great big board around you with the URL on there, and you know what? You can print a QR code on as well.
Ringing a bell.
And there we go. We don't need to launch now. Steve Miller's just exposed the whole program.
Traffic method number 2: talk to your local town crier. Get him to shout your web address out.
Oh, God.
I tell you, to be honest, in many cases, it's just yelling your web address out your window would be more successful than some of the traffic methods.
So that's what we've got. And like you mentioned, we've gone on this whole Indiana Jones theme. So the whole set, I don't know if Richie shared with you the sales page. That's been a labor of love, kind of putting that whole thing together. And it's Indiana Jones, not Brokeback Mountain, as some of the comments we've had
a couple of those. Why is it a cowboy theme? It's not. It's Indiana Jones.
I never once looked at that and went cowboy theme. So...
These are my mates who are bricklayers, skip drivers, and truck drivers that have nothing to do because they're on my Facebook. So it's on. That's why.
So that's the JV page. So obviously we've got our sort of our usual $12.95 front end, and the funnel goes from there. Everything.
Those graphics,
they're cool, aren't they? Yeah.
Wait till you see those sales pages. That it's been, we're really trying, to just get the right balance between making it fun again, because some launches have really got a bit boring, and also just also getting some good quality training back into the marketplace. That's what we're really trying to do. So,
and first prize in our JB thing is the Holy Grail. Although I've already got one, so
it's useful if you haven't got one.
Yeah,
but they do sell them in
or $1,000. It's one or the other. Because I'm pretty certain I can find one on Amazon.
Yeah, I'll take the money. I've already got a Holy Grail. So... Look at these handsome fellas down here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who they are. I'm actually in the shirt as well. Just keeping it on brand here.
That's dedication. That is, or
it's a complete accident.
All of my products. It's the same. This last one isn't, but most of them, it's the same T-shirt in each product because
it's not. Is it, Steve?
Consistency.
Oh my God.
Is it consistency or a reduced wardrobe, Steve? What's the?
Well, I did. I when I started doing YouTube, I did go out and buy a whole load of grey T-shirts just so that I could make videos and it didn't look odd, that you were doing that. But and they're these Grandad ones, the little buttons on there, because it's the perfect place to put a tie clip microphone. That's
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
yeah, that's
I used to always hide
behind the scenes
hide
magic for you there.
yeah.
Oh, we're revealing all the top secrets tonight, aren't we?
You're getting some real golden nuggets from this session, aren't you?
Yeah.
Really
You better
are.
put a paywall on this one, Andy. This is too good to be given away for free.
Well, I know.
And
Well,
it was interesting. Dan and I were kind of talking. We know what our next launch after this one. We're obviously very excited about this one. What the next sort of few launches are going to be, and every other one is going to be themed. I won't disclose exactly what they're going to be, but the one.
I think what we're going to. I think what we sort of said we were going to do.
Fun.
Yeah, what we sort of said we're going to do was we're going to kind of do some that are much heavier themed than others, right? Because I think you can overkill the themes, and it gets to a point where it's like, oh bloody hell, here we are again, So
I feel a bit like that with Cheney's launches and all this. I think that's really overkill. But I mean, I get it; it works for him.
I will reserve my comments until we're not live on YouTube.
Me too. But I would ask, what in terms of, do you mean like the hype on it, or do you mean like the difference? Because what he does is, let's say this one, I think was based on the Matrix. I think.
Well, but then he's gone off.
They're
in
all
other
the same.
angles.
They're all the same, really. There's just a little bit of a difference in what it is, but it's all very similar. And I think that's what we've got to be very careful that we don't become, right? Because whilst it is fun and I certainly had a lot of fun with doing it, and we've got some ideas, to try and take it to the next level, because the pages and stuff, we're kind of getting all that down. The way I want to get it to the next is also trying to get the VSL to be much more integrated with it. And obviously, we got a history with VSLs, haven't we, Andy?
That's not here. Say what you want. It's fine.
Yeah, I tell you what, I did watch your JV video on this one, or most of it, and way better.
Thank you. But you know what? We appreciate that, right? Because actually, there's so much. When I speak to people in in the industry and stuff, so many people just tell you what they think you want to hear, and so you just go, okay, it's fine, even though you're niggling away thinking, is it not? Whereas we appreciate we can talk to you, and if it's shit, you'll tell us it's shit. But
we'll also tell you why we think it is, and what can be done. It isn't just that shit. Fuck off, is it? It is always constructive.
No, and there are some people like that.
Well, I know
for sure. Yeah, and no, it's constructive criticism, and it's great because for us at that time, it really put a bit of a rod up our backsides, and then Dan and I had to spend kind of 2 days. Do you remember on the Profit Kickstart?
I remember? Of course, I bloody remember. I remember? No,
I say we. It was
still
really
having nightmares now about that one.
Yeah,
I still see Kurt visit me in my dreams.
Sometimes late at night, you can still hear the screaming if you hear really loud.
But no, I mean, I think the good thing is we both know where each of us is coming from. You guys know that we're not trying to just put out crap, and we know that you guys are wanting to help us to make it better for a variety of reasons. So no, I appreciate that, and like I say, on this one, it's going to be a better VSL for sure, but I would really like us to kind of go to that level where we can have a lot more fun with it, right? But certainly on these themes, yeah, exactly.
When you're having fun, people get involved with it and they like it, and why does Jamie Lewis do as amazingly as he does? His things are fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the product is. The fact is, Jamie Lewis is dancing and rapping like a nutter. And
also, it's a bit of a pattern interrupt, isn't it? You don't see that on things. So as soon as you get onto that, you go, "Oh, this is different." Yeah, and
I just wonder, you're doing this one on like Indiana Jones. I'm just wondering what movie themes you could do. How about 50 Shades of Grey for the next one?
If you want to,
Mr. Stevens, 50 Shirts of Grey.
If you want to do a Doctor Who one, I am becoming.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, but it's about getting the domain name. That's the hard part.
Do you know what though, Steve?
Yeah,
I just talking to Richard about you, we might have an idea for a couple of things.
Okay.
Okay. And just like as the brain was working away, and so yeah, I think you've just got to be careful because it has to be a theme that everybody looks at and knows, right? If you do a theme of a film that's you love the film, but someone else looks at it and goes, "What the hell's this?"
You've got to know what's in the zeitgeist. But then my feeling on that is, if The Simpsons have covered it, you can pretty much say, "Yeah, okay, that'll work." Anyone will know. Yeah.
But it's got to be
Family Guy, or anything
an American
like that.
audience.
So any of those,
wide appeal and things.
Yeah.
And I think you've just also got to be aware of the age of the people who are buying. You know, if there's a product if there's a video that's just launched, or you know, in the last couple of years, it might be that's not really going to have been seen by a lot of the usual audience that we have. You know, as opposed to something that launched in the 90s, for example. You know,
don't forget that, you know, or things like Doctor Who are all over Disney Plus now, so there'll be audiences that will know it, but might not be the audience for it. So it's whether
we did an Indiana Jones. We did an Indiana Jones theme, right, on this one, and people still thought it was Brokeback Mountain.
I think that was just taking a jab at the two of us, to be honest with you. I mean, the other ones that are up there are your sort of, you know, you've got things like Top Gun, right? Known film, of course. You've got the
anything
Pirates of the Caribbean. Those big.
That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't.
Jurassic Park.
Erotic
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. But you see, how do
Back
you
to
tie
the
in
Future.
Ghostbusters into affiliate marketing? That's the, you know, unless we're wanting to kind of, you know, bust some of the other thing. I don't know. I've just got to try and tie it in. You know, that's the whole.
I think it could be done. It depends on what the product is and what the angles are. But I think you could do it.
I mean, because what we're saying on this one, basically, this is, you know, how to find, you know, it's kind of like journeying through finding the Holy Grail. So that's how we're kind of tying it into it. Whereas some of these things, I think, how can I tie that into actually being, you know, not just a theme? It has to also give something to the customer.
To connect to what's happening. Yeah, sure.
Not just like, oh, it's my wife and I's anniversary. Speaking of which, I've got a launch. You know, like, how's that related? That's what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, actually,
you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
You could absolutely do things like that. You could do a launch because John Cleese did something, which was a tour where he promoted it by saying, "This tour is to pay my divorce bill."
Well, that's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. I'd go and see that. And do you know when he should have done that? Valentine's Day. That's when he should have done that. You know, it'd been brilliant. You know, but yeah. So, but the Pirates of the Caribbean one, I think we'll definitely do that. I didn't want to say because I didn't know, Dan, if you wanted to sort of.
Well, they're all just loose ideas. I mean,
they are ideas. Yeah,
I
suggested Jurassic Park, but we couldn't tie that in really, and also the domain names are nightmare to get. I know you can, like, you know, read.
That's one of my things is we've got to be able to get a half decent .com because we want products that are going to be for the long run, you know, and it's even just down to stuff like, I mean, .io is fine, but why pay 50 quid when I can pay a tenner? You know, and so it's just
.ios are going away anyway. So
we sat and had a brainstorm session this week. We were on the call for hours, right? And I went through. I was saying things like Jurassic affiliate sniper. No, it's too long. Everything I suggested, he was just like, no.
That's what you got to do in a brainstorm.
You're making me sound like I'm a nightmare to work with, Richie.
No, not at all. Not
That's
at all.
That's the idea of a brainstorm, isn't it? You have to just keep throwing stuff out there. I know when Kurt and I brainstorm, we go, right, okay, because when it's just us, we're like, right, anything goes. So we say anything. Get the filters out of the way, and then sometimes out of the funny, I'll say something as a joke. We'll laugh about it, and then Kurt will go, hang on a minute. Yeah. That's happened to us. And that happens all the time. I'm going to do a launch based on Train Spotting and just say this is to pay for my Coke habit.
Yeah. Perfect.
Honestly, you could say it's just to pay for the ticket, the price they charge.
This is to pay for my Coke habit, but then you show a pile of Coca-Cola cans in the back.
Or Pepsi would be funnier.
I'll do
See
whichever
what
one of
only
those
works. There's a
companies
reason
wants to
for it.
sponsor me.
I'll get Red Bull to contact you with a wingsuit idea. I still think that's hilarious.
I'd fill it. That's the problem.
Oh,
It's true.
Well, that is top of the hour, so we are going to come off of the live streaming. I'm sorry we didn't get to do the feature. You'll have to come and join us next week if you want to find out.
The stakes are so high now. Who wants a potato? It's time to find out now. Are you ready to show?
See you next week.
Bye, guys.